Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm just getting started here. Hopefully, this show will go a little bit smoother tonight as I have a lot to cover. And I'm going to start right off the bat with some interesting things that happened. Um, so, let me go and bring up my first, whoop, I'm in the wrong section here. And the rather peculiar post appeared on the High Command, and it stated that they had received a package. It was later repeated on Twitter, and an image came up of a package. And this is the package in question. Now, there's some interesting things about this package. I did not put up the highlighted version of this, but I will do so later. But I'm going to point out a couple things here. First of all, in the bottom right-hand corner, we have an address, and that address is to Elk River, Minnesota. And up on the part there to this package, you will see, it's rather hard to see, but you will see their expected delivery day 6/26, I think it was. I'm not sure the exact date, but anyway, it was supposed to be delivered Saturday, and it was, according to the post. Now, the interesting thing about this is that there was a post made on on Twitter, and this is the post, and it said that Randy has not been in Minnesota for over a year. Really? Now let's look at the date here. Again, this is highlighted. Now, somewhere in the Twilight Zone, I have the post with the date on it. But for right now, rather than hunting for this thing, I'm going to point out that this post was made on the 24th of June. Now, let's see. Where are we going here? But they, again, back to this slide, they sat here and said that this is like a phony police report or something, but clearly she was in Minnesota in order to get the package because the date that the package received was yesterday, the 26th of June. So, what's the deal here? Now, there was an attempt to locate one Timothy Charles Holmseth at this particular residence. And the husband stated that she had not been there for a year and that they were separated. Now, what I'm trying to figure out here is how this woman got a package on the 26th of June if she's not there. I mean, she does have access to a post office box in Elk River that this package could have been delivered to. But the nice thing about this is that there are people that are trying to get a process server to serve her. So perhaps somebody's going to be knocking on the door of that residence tomorrow trying to serve her once again, because Craig Sawyer and others have been trying to get this woman to show up in court and account for her actions. Now that we got that little bit out of the way, we come down to, let's see if I can figure this one out. Okay, here we go. Ashley Cooper, who is also known as Ashley Brown, filed a police report on the 24th, on the 22nd of June. The copy was printed out on the 24th. Interesting that this was on the same day that everybody stated that Randy Erickson was no longer in Minnesota. And Minnehaha. Okay, I guess I don't know what that's there for. That's kind of an interesting thing. I didn't see that before. Anyway, if we bring up the transcript by the officer, it reads as follows. At approximately 21:17 hours, this is 9:17 for those of you that don't do military time, Officer Tyler Anderson spoke with Ashley Dawn Brown at the Law Enforcement Center regarding alleged harassment from a Randy Erickson from Elk River, Minnesota. Brown explained she has been exposing Erickson online, and now Erickson is harassing her and her kids. Brown explained that she learned today from her juvenile daughter that on or around May 18th, Erickson had approached her while she was in the Minnesota Minnehaha playground. At the time, Brown's daughter told her a creepy woman had approached her, but Brown did not think anything of it. Today, Brown showed her daughter a photo of Erickson, and she told Brown that was the creepy woman who had approached her previously. Brown stated nothing else suspicious occurred during this May event. Brown wanted this information on record. Brown also mentioned a Timothy Charles Homseth, who she states is with Erickson. Brown wanted it on the record that Homseth has an active warrant for his arrest. Brown was advised on the application process for harassment restraining orders and stated she will be looking into that route. Assistant Chief Anderson to be advised. Tyler Anderson, officer. So this is why Randy Erickson wants everybody to believe that she's not around, because she does not want to get arrested. Now, this stalking of children is a pretty serious charge. And if this is quote unquote defamation of character, like she claims, then I guess Randy Erickson can get a barfly and sue Ashley. I'd love to see her do that one. And I doubt it's going to happen, but you never know. Now, and another bit of news, we get this about Fireman John. Development. Delphi Police Chief receives telephone call from man with voice that sounds like suspect. Now, what this is in reference to is the Delphi murders in Delphi, Indiana that happened back, I believe, in 2017. Now, Timothy Charles Homseth, for some strange reason, inferred that I was involved in this, or I resembled the man that they are suspecting of the murder. And he put up an old clip of me going on my van up to my live van on the High Command, which is, in a sense, Randy Erickson's BitChute account. Although she's probably going to deny it. Nobody seems to want to claim ownership of this particular website, even though it shows up on TimothyCharlesHomestead.com all the time. But in kind of lost track here a little bit, but let me go back down here to this. This is from I got the wrong slide up. Let me go to one. Okay, we got number 2. Now note that this is published on June 27th of this year. And it shows Timothy Charles Homseth as the byline. And now he is accepting liability for this particular article. Now let's go down here to this page. During Taylor's bizarre rant, he suggested Homseth is going to be arrested for reporting on the Delphi case. Taylor said there are pending felonies in Indiana, and those cops in Delphi are pissed, which is true. Tyler said the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, Indiana, and FBI are handling the Delphi murder case, which is correct. Taylor said the sheriff and or FBI can now go to a judge and have Homseth arrested for obstruction, which is correct. Taylor's assertion that Homseth can be arrested for obstruction and interfering with a murder case is a regular thing for Tyler when he calls into YouTube programs. Well, he happens to be correct. Now, there is a YouTube channel, I believe it's called the Misery Channel, that did a segment on this particular subject. And they even stated that the law enforcement in Indiana are getting really annoyed with getting calls about people being persons of interest that not have any association with the case at all. And it's tying up the investigation because they have to look into where the stuff is coming from, and it sidetracks their investigation, and this is known as obstruction of justice. Apparently, Mr. Homseth can't understand that or will not understand it. Tyler's obsession with Delphi murder case and his aggressive assertions that an investigative journalist gathering evidence and reporting on the case is going to be charged with a felony is curious, if not flat out suspicious. Law enforcement released video and audio to the public for help in identifying the killers. Now, this is the problem. Tim Homseth knows full well that neither I nor John Taylor is guilty of anything. We are not associated with either one of these crimes, and he knows that he is interfering with law enforcement and their investigation, but he does it anyway. It is not immediately known why Taylor, who is from the state of Virginia, was ever interested in the Delphi murder case in the first place. However, Tyler announced on June 24th, 2020, on a YouTube program hosted by Levi Page, that he was going to be calling law enforcement in Delphi. Taylor did not elaborate on what he and the police chief talked for an hour. Oh, yes, he did. If he had listened to my show, he would have known. And as for why Fireman John, as he's known, or Taylor, is interested in the Delphi case, is because Timothy Charles Homseth named him as a suspect in the case. He inferred that John Taylor had something to do with the case. The only reason John Taylor is being brought into this situation is because he had the audacity to host, or not host, but be a hammer or wrench, as we call it, on my show, and that his boss, owner of blog, or whatever the hell she is, got mad because Mr. Taylor banned her from my live stream. And the reason she was banned is because she was abusing the chat. She was asking about people's underwear. She was asking to see my living room. She was disrupting the chat, as trolls usually do. And so, since John Taylor was named as a suspect by Mr. Homseth, he felt it necessary to call the Delphi law enforcement and explain to them what the heck is going on. And for whatever reason, this investigative journalist can't figure this out. There is a video published on a BitChute account known as the High Command entitled Breaking News in Delphi Murder Case. Two men working together as a team. In the video, Tyler's voice is compared to a voice released by law enforcement. The voice released by law enforcement that is heard saying, "Guys down the hill," sounds like the voice of John Taylor. The man walking on the bridge appears to resemble William Murtaugh. That's me. Taylor is a moderator on Murtaugh's YouTube show where the two men keep going on and on and on about Homeseth, telling their chat room followers to call their police on Homeseth and claiming Homeseth is going to be arrested for obstruction. That paragraph right there tells you why John Taylor was brought into this, because he is a moderator on this channel. And because he is a moderator on this channel, he is being punished for it. The voice on the video that the High Command put up does not even come close to sounding like John Taylor. Plus, it's an extremely short audio clip. No investigator anywhere is going to even remotely infer that John Taylor sounds like the bridge man, as we might as well call him, on such a short clip. There would have to be an expert forensic examiner go through what they call a 15-point procedure to determine whether or not anyone sounded like the bridge man. Now, in a similar video, Homeseth and this High Command accused me of being the man on the bridge, saying that I walk like him. Well, the problem is, if you look at the bridge photo, you will notice that the man walking on the bridge is walking with what we would call a list. He's listing to the left in the picture. And if you look at a picture of me in the video he uses, I am not listing. I am walking straight. So I do not understand where Homeseth comes up with that I look anything at all like the person in that bridge video. But this is what Homeseth does. He keeps getting people who are not guilty of anything involved in this crap. You know, he does it over and over and over again. And as you folks know, they sent me a restraining order telling me to quit talking about them. And this is precisely why. They want to keep putting stuff like this up on the internet about me, John Taylor, Montagraph, Agent 19, and a whole host of other people, yet they don't want me talking about it. They want me to sit back, hold on to my hands, and take it. And that ain't happening. Now, it has been quite a bit more than 24 hours, and they have not responded for my demand to name their legal counsel and to give me an address to which to send my response and my summons to appear in court to answer these allegations that they addressed in this letter to me. And I probably am not going to get one, because if this goes to court, all the evidence that I have of them defaming me, Kim Bacasio, Levi Page, Agent 19, Montagraph, and Ashley Cooper, and a score of other people is going to be brought in. And I don't think the judge is going to be happy when she sees what some of this QAnon stuff is that they put on, where they say that our court system is run by maritime law and all this other nonsense. This is, pure fantasy. And someday it's going to come to a head. Now, let me get back in the room here. Minecraft is a guy that he does basically the same thing I do. He has a YouTube channel. He talks about different things. And at one time, he came to the defense of Kim Picasio and really got under Tim Holmes's skin. And because of that, Tim Holmeseth named him as a suspect in the murder of John Benet Ramsey. He's accused Monograph of making some kind of a slasher film or something using a child, and he did not do that. He used an adult. The woman has stated that she was in the movie and has demonstrated her age, and Tim still will not shut up about it. Tim Holmeseth has even gone to Denver, Colorado, and has been to the Benet Ramsey address. So, this, watch Tim Holmeseth use that as he's another idiot. There's scores of these idiots coming out of the woodwork, and they all just repeat the same garbage. It's unfortunate that, people do that, but, it's money. It boils right down to being money. So, that's just... Pastor Locke is another one of these weirdos. I didn't know about him until it was shared on Twitter, but he goes around saying there's children in tunnels under Washington, D.C., and all this other crap, and Tim Holmeseth and Randy have been repeating this garbage. So, what are you going to do? But, this is basically where we're at here, is these people are lying again. They're putting John Taylor through the ringer because he decided to be my moderator. And, this is kind of making it hard for me to do anything with the channel, because they come in here, and anybody in here that contributes anything to the show winds up on their defendant list. They wind up being accused of this, that, and the other thing. These people go digging into their backgrounds, finding anything that they can distort. In John Taylor's case, they turned around and misidentified him as some guy down in Florida who happens to have the same very common name, and it's just trying to destroy his reputation. And it's crazy, and it's unfortunate. There doesn't seem to be a way to put a stop to this. Well, Martha, you got to understand where they're at. That particular channel, they're preaching to the choir. Those people over there believe in all kinds of crazy crap, and so Timmy fits right in with them. That channel was designed specifically for those people. Now, it's an interesting thing. I go over there and I make comments from time to time, and they delete them the minute I put them up. I can't make a comment on any of their videos yet. They'll come over here, they'll barge into the room, they'll put comments in my comment section. But can I put comments up on their channel? Nope. They have a guy over there who says he's Truth Seeker. I've posted messages to him, and he deletes them. They don't like people talking to them, and they'll delete you. That's just the way it is. And I've got the screenshots to prove it. But, I really don't care. I mean, if they, it's a waste of my time to go over there anyway. But when I saw the atrocity that I put up about Fireman John, who, The guy is a first responder. He risked his life to save others. He runs to fires instead of away from them like everybody else does. He's there or was there to serve us all. And to have this man's reputation trashed by this idiot who can't even take a bath it's offensive. Yeah, they say everybody works with Craig Sawyer. I hardly ever talk to Craig Sawyer. We blocked each other at one time because I differ. Our political views are quite different. But I don't work for or with Craig Sawyer. He doesn't work or for or with me. The only thing that drew us together is this nonsense that these two people keep posting on the internet. And they suck John Taylor into this. And then they're talking about this finder's call, which is no more. It was a weird cult that existed way, 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 way back when. And for some reason, the FBI released information on it, and this got the conspiracy theorists going all over the place on it. And then all of a sudden, Timothy Homestead takes credit for having to do something to do with the Finder investigation. And he had absolutely nothing to do with them. He never heard of them until the article came out. Just like everything else he does. He claims to know all this stuff, but he knows nothing. He waits until something comes up on the internet, and then he attaches his name to it. Yeah, well, the Abel Danger thing was the same way. They don't like people criticizing them. And if you criticize them, you're put on their do not talk list. They send you packing. This is a controlled narrative. It's a controlled false narrative. And they go through this all the time. Well, as far as I know, Phil McConnell never went overseas. He stayed in the United States. His military career was rather brief. But, what's funny thing about Phil McConnell is because of Tim Holmseth, he is in the situation he is now. He's under house arrest in Plum City. He's probably going to be back in Florida this fall, so he'll be a snowbird. And there's a yes, no, or maybe when it comes to whether or not he's going to get any additional sentencing. They could go with time served, give him some restrictions, and that'd be the end of it. I don't know what's going to happen with that. And Tim Homestead is running around the country having a good old time. Not a care in the world. And there we go. Well, see, that's the thing. The husband told law enforcement that Randy had not been there in over a year. And this is fairly recent. This was in, I believe, somewhere in May. And now we come to find out that Randy Erickson receives a package at the very same address. So somebody is lying. And lying to a law enforcement officer is a crime. It's obstruction of justice. It's protecting a fugitive from justice. This NXIVM or whatever the hell it is more nonsense. He associates Levi Page with this thing. And it's just, he's been after Levi Page. He's after Alexandra Goddard. He's after me. He's after everybody. Uh, he's after Al Kennedy, and so is um, Randy. Said something about uh, her dogs, which I thought was strange. How come Field evaded Vietnam? I don't know. I don't know that much about his military career except what I've been told. So I don't know how he evaded Vietnam. Um, there's been some rumors about his conduct in the military that may explain it, but I really don't know because he could have gone over there as a fighter pilot because I believe he was flying fighter planes at that time, but didn't happen. He didn't go to Vietnam apparently. So I have no idea why not. Yeah, well, they claim he doesn't uh, expose pedophiles. This has been when Tim Homestead first heard of Craig Sawyer. This has been going on a long time, by the way. He said that Craig Sawyer is a fake, that he doesn't go after kids, he doesn't do this, doesn't do that, and and so he's going to wind up getting sued for it. And Craig Sawyer is going to file a defamation suit against both him and Randy Ericks. He's already filed a suit against uh, preacher Daniel Lee. I got the hiccups, so sorry. And he won a $4.6 million judgment, which is unheard of in this kind of civil case. So and preacher Dan is under the mistaken impression he's going to get out of that one. He's not. They're already working on fulfilling the judgment. So Preacher Dan's going to have that chasing him for the rest of his life because there's no statute of limitation on collecting a summary judgment. And there's going to be injunctive relief come down the line. There's going to be all sorts of problems that Daniel Lee has. Okay, I don't know what happened here. Screwy Louie, that's how they find Gregor. That's what I believe. Yeah, see, I have not followed the Craig Sawyer situation all that much. I don't know why he became a target, but I did, some stuff started coming out sometime, years ago. And, Craig has been arguing against that. I know next to nothing about Craig Sawyer. He's not of my concern. He doesn't say anything about me, and I don't say anything about him because we don't have any reason to comment about each other. We're on two separate missions. And so, as long as he leaves me alone, I'll leave him alone. I have no beef with Craig Sawyer, and I hope he has no beef with me. There's no reason to because I'm not involved in anything that has to do with him. So, okay, what did I miss? That's correct, Rebecca. They are going after Daniel's money because the summary judgment. It takes time. I know there's ways of doing it. And again, he can get injunctive relief. He can seize Lee's social media accounts. He can put an attachment on his various donation sites. So there's a lot they can do. And it's just these things take time. But, and if he, the thing of it is every day that judgment is not paid, there is interest accruing. Uh, and I think it's figured on the prime rate, which is the highest interest rate out there. So he's got quite a bit of interest building up on that $4 million judgment. Because Craig Sawyer's not the only one. Craig Sawyer's getting about $1.5 million of it, and the other plaintiffs in the lawsuit are getting the balance. And so he's got, I think it's a total of 4 people on the one lawsuit that are going after him. Yeah, there's a lot of things in there. So, but I just feel sorry that John Taylor was brought into this mess because I'm the reason he is. The guy did me a favor. He came in for a few minutes. It wasn't even that long. It was like 15 minutes to moderate my chant. And they jumped on him. They've been gaslighting this poor guy ever since. And, this is what they're doing. They are deliberately sabotaging this broadcast. They are trying to get people not to watch. Okay, does who have an ankle monitor? Because Field McConnell does have a ankle monitor. I don't know about the other parties you're talking about, if that's what you were referring to, Lee. Yeah, Field McConnell has to wear a GPS monitor, or ankle monitor as they're called. The same company that monitored him in Florida are monitoring him in Plum City. He has it goes all over the United States, this particular company. I lost track there. But and he's got the same restrictions he had in Florida. He's not with his son, so well, the problem here is, in a way, it is my fault because anyone who is proactive in this channel, be it John Taylor, you, or anyone else, you instantly become target because now everyone that chats in this room is part of a satanic group or part of the finders of some crap, And people that come across this channel wind up checking into all this, and this is why I can't get my subscriber count up, because this stuff just keeps happening. Now, I was at 1,000 dead even until this morning, and then somebody dropped out, so I'm back down to 999 again, or somewhere thereabouts. I have no idea what my subscriber count is at the moment. It's not being displayed here. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, I'm at 999. I cannot seem to get above that threshold and stay there. I go up and then it comes right back down again. Well, Martha is a moderator. But what it is, it doesn't matter if you visit them or not. If they see your name with a wrench next to it, you automatically become a Satanist, a pedophile, drinking baby's blood, and all that other stuff. It's craziness. You know, I can't exercise my First Amendment rights because of this idiot. And again, this is the only reason I even talk about him. You know, if he would have left me alone, I wouldn't bother him because I don't care. This is not the reason this room was created. I had an entirely different purpose and format for this show, and I had to give it up in order to counter these idiots. Um, I just, I don't know what your attitude is, Martha, about this sort of thing, but I feel bad to have people get attacked simply because they kick out trolls in my chat room. It's I don't like putting this burden on people. Um, it's John came in here. He was decent enough to do it. Uh, did it for 15 minutes, and within hours, the video started coming out accusing him of all sorts of things, and it continues to this day. And so I get concerned. Okay, that's basically it. I'm trying to keep people from having unnecessary grief because if you see the kind of stuff he puts up, and Randy as well, about innocent people. I mean, the Eskies are supposed to be sacrificial dogs and stuff like this. I mean, that's the latest load of crap. I mean, the woman can't even have a dog without somebody saying that there's something being done to them. I mean, come on. And this is what they do. Now they went over to her Facebook page, found out she was into the Eskies, and this is where we're at. It's really strange. So I just so it gets rather discouraging that I'm having to come in here every single solitary time to broach on the same thing over and over again because they don't let up. They just keep doing it. And they do it for the attention. They don't care that they're getting criticized because they use it as a excuse to do these things. Now they put up a video, call it the true story behind the snake. So that means he's attacking Craig Sawyer again. Put up these fake threats that were examined and found not to be legitimate messages. They were faked. So he's saying that Craig Sawyer is part of, and then he goes under, and he's got this Bob Hammer who is, going through this nonsense on these videos, trying to figure out, and it's just the same thing over and over and over again. Well, I'll tell you something, Martha. It wouldn't matter if I shut up tomorrow. And a matter of fact, I did. If people recall, I went off the air for quite a long time. I wasn't doing live streams. I was doing videos every once in a while. I got too darn busy, and I had problems with the other software. I was getting a lot of buffering, so I simply gave up the live streaming for a while. I did occasional mobile tons, but for the most part, I gave up being on my channel. Shoot, I didn't even finish my milk yet. Okay, got a question. Uh, I believe he had an assessment. I cannot say for certain. And all they do when they give you an examination is they want to see if you're competent to stand trial. That's all that's for. It's a very low threshold. If you're competent to stand trial, that doesn't mean you're uh, sane. It just means you're competent enough to stand trial. That's the reason they use that verbiage. So uh, it's kind of like basically they want to make sure he understands the difference between right and wrong. They want to see if he's capable of defending himself in court, whether or not he has a lawyer, so on and so forth. And that's the only kind of psychoval they do. Uh, Now, sometimes the defense will do it to try and give someone an insanity plea, but he's not. He hasn't been adjudicated insane, so he's fit to stand trial, and he's going to stand trial. Yeah, that I thought you were talking about law enforcement. Yeah, the union ordered him to have an assessment, and the airline ordered him to have an assessment. He refused to have one, and he is no longer allowed to fly. Um, Lee, that is an understatement. uh, Kirk is way out there. That guy is certifiably nuts. Uh, and he's just another one of these sovereigns who think they know it all, and he actually knows nothing. He's practicing law without a license, and eventually they're going to get him. So, it's. But as far as giving these two, uh, it was a combination of both. He was ordered to take the psych. He refused to take it, and he quit. But then he was decertified by the FAA. He can no longer fly. He does not have a pilot's license. He can't even fly he can't even fly a private aircraft. Um, yes, Field's case is going to trial. It's probably going to be later in the year because they keep pushing it back. Uh, So it's looking like with the Neely Blanchard case and the Peely McConnell case, these two cases are going to be pushed back. I believe that the 8th of July, there's going to be a status hearing with Phil McConnell. Uh, and I have not checked close enough with the Cynthia Abzug case. There was somebody giving me updates on that case, but I haven't heard from them in a while. So I don't know where we're going on that part yet. Because until I can contact the Denver court system and find out what the status of her case is, I'm kind of dead in the water on that right now. Because I have things going on in my personal life where I don't have the kind of time to check into this stuff that I normally would if I had the time. But I am not dedicated to the internet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've got a life off the internet, which these other people don't seem to have. So, okay, I got to check a couple things here. Now, Bill McConnell got into this Zimbon thing, this foreign currency, which is an absolute complete fraud. He was going to buy some huge ranch out in Texas, and um, he thought he was going to have $1 trillion and all kind. He just really went off the planet. He went after his sister over an estate problem. Went after her because she worked for Democrats, and it's alleged that he threatened a public official and a bank official in his state, and there's actually a pending criminal action for that. And they decided to hold off on that to see what's going to happen with Florida. Um, so once the Florida situation is out of the way, they may go back to him. Hi, Tom. No, not tonight, Tom. Timmy's out there living high off the hog, literally, if you know what I mean. He's nowhere to be found. And people like Bill McConnell are in jail because of Timothy Charles stuff. And we got um, people dead in Florida, people in jail in Florida because of the association. It's really something else. All right, I'm going to take that off before. Now, Zim has nothing to do with Zimbabwe. The Zim currency, as it was known, was uh, one of these currencies that with $1 you can buy like $1 trillion of this particular currency. And there's 3 or 4 different ones. There's the currency in Iraq when Gaddafi was in power. When the country was overthrown, they changed what currency they were going to use in that country, and all of a sudden you got a warehouse full of these denominations, and people went around, bought them, and then they would get on the line and said, we'll say these bonds, and when the World Bank decides to validate the currency, it'll soar in value, and you guys will all be millionaires. And that is what that was all about, because Bill McConnell stated he was going to use the money he made from those bonds to buy this place out in Texas. And that the bottom fell out of that one. So the Zim Cargo Company has nothing to do with any of this. I've hauled containers for that company. Well, they're containers. When I hauled containers for a couple of years back in the early '80s, and they got millions of containers spread out all over the world. And which is funny, that guy that says he's the postman of the world works for a container for a port, a container port, because there's a picture of him in front of the containers. Yes, the cars are still in storage, and nothing's been done with them, as far as I know. I would suspect the IRS is going to get their hands on them eventually, but he's got 2 large metal buildings, and both those buildings hold his cars. And he has at least 2 limousines, a hearse, and I don't know what else up there. But he's got a fabulous collection of cars. And, eventually he's going to lose them all, which is unfortunate, but, that's what happens when you break the law. Well, Lee, I've been driving since, or I was driving since 1970. I retired a while back after about 45 years, close to 50 years of driving because I couldn't pass the DOT physical anymore. And so basically I'm living off Social Security. I also had a small car dealership, and um, because of trolls and some people over on um, 4chan, that business tanked. So now I just live off Social Security, and I bang around on this thing and some outside activities that I have. But I've driven just about everything. I drove overdimensional for a while. I've driven tour buses, uh, drove tankers. Never drove a fuel truck, but I've driven tankers. Had a tanker, and I had all the endorsements, even explosives. Uh, Worked for a company called Tri-State from out west, briefly. Uh, I've hauled cars, I've hauled boats, I've hauled all kinds of crap. Uh, Field is not clear. Now, Phil may have paid the foreclosure, but he hasn't paid the taxes on the house. And the IRS has an attachment on the house because the bank and the IRS are going around and around about it right now. Uh, he does make money from crots, but the last I heard, Bill McConnell had $100 and some odd dollars, 100,000 plus that he owed the IRS. Well, yeah, Fern, because there's a lot of kids coming in, and the driver training schools are churning these kids out. They have a total lack of experience. I mean, there's channels on there. There's a guy that he talks about um, all the accidents these people are having, and Swift. I mean, Swift alone fills this guy's channel up. It's funnier than hell to watch. Um, oh God, where do I begin? Let's see. Borderline diabetic, high frequency hearing loss. I had cataracts for a good long time. Got that straightened out. I do have my blood pressure under control. And I have I was hypertension, but it's all that stuff. And the big hurdle to get me back in the road would be to get a hearing aid, but they're $5,000, and the um, the way the industry today, it really isn't worth going back because you got all these electronic laws. It's over-regulated. John, I don't know if I could pass because of the hearing. I think the hearing is uh, my big obstacle. And I really don't know as if I want to go back to that because I've got things that I do on the outside. It was fun for when I did it, but it's getting to be a big mess out there anymore. Um, and it's just every day is something new. So I decided when I got out of the industry that I'm not going back. I'm 70 years old. It's a high stress situation. I got some damn nice equipment out there, and there's money to be made because there's a huge driver shortage right now. So yeah, well, see, Social Security, the insurance on Social Security, I actually went for a hearing exam recently, and the cheapest I could get a hearing aid is $1,000 each. Now I don't have $1,000 each to buy hearing aids, and you know that's just the way. And that's they don't, the insurance I have does not have, they allow me $500 a piece for hearing aids. And so that $1,000 for each hearing aid is after the copay, or is after the what the insurance allows. Uh, and the first time when I did the exam, the first time the doctor wanted to give me hearing aids, they were $5,000. So things were great. They had um, Bluetooth and all that stuff in them. They were great hearing aids, but $5,000, give me a freaking break. Did I ever drive for Arrow? No, I didn't. I knew a lot of people did. Because you run into them with pilots and TSAs all the time. Because I used to go to Oklahoma. Uh, I used to go to IDP all over the country and get swinging beef and bring it back down here to Florida. So I've been all over up there. I did runs to Red Owl up in Denver, Colorado, and that's was a huge place up there. I don't even know if they're still in business anymore. Yeah, you're right. They do amplify what you don't want to hear, but the better ones, they tune in specifically for what you want. You can actually change them like you would, say, a high-end stereo system. You can do outdoors, indoors, conversations, quiet environment, loud environment. I mean, the ones that the doctor wanted to sell me, or whatever they call them, were great hearing aids. It's just that they were $5,000, and I ain't got that kind of money. I ain't got $500, so I do without the hearing aids. It's just, I hear enough because I have the headphones. If I want to listen to something in the headphones, I tune the headphones to what I want to hear. And the only reason for getting hearing aids is really to drive truck, and I don't plan on doing that. So it's one of those. I love truck driving. I always did, but it is a very stressful job. You have hours of service regulations, you have weight regulations, you have all kinds of, every time you turn around, they're changing the laws, and you got to argue with dispatchers, you got to argue with shippers, you got to argue with receivers, and then sometimes you have to argue with other truck drivers. It's a hot mess. Baton Rouge. Yeah, I've been to Baton Rouge. I don't remember BR distribution, but Southern Cold Storage I've been to. We have, or was Southern Cold Storage here in Orlando. Yeah, my dental insurance sucks too. And you're lucky to even have a pension, because the teachers really get a bad break. The most important people in the world, and they're getting the worst treatment. Well, Tom, it's an either. There's things to like about trucking and things not to like about it. And there were jobs that I had that I liked. Now, when I was hauling cars and doing it for my own business, I actually liked it, because I was using it to make money for both car hauling for clients and also hauling my own inventory. So it was fun while it lasted. But it's time to get out of the way and let the newbies take it over and let them have their fun. And I just sit back and relax on my Social Security and deal with the Q nuts. That seems to be about the only thing. I wanted to try and do something with this channel, but because of what's been happening with these two idiots, it doesn't seem like I'm going to go very far with that, except for having these little chats from time to time. So, I do what I do. What I'm gonna do is I gotta go take care of something. I gotta do the 10-100, and I'll be right back. So, guys, let's chat among yourselves for a couple minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, I thought I'd bring out the channel mascot here. Say hi, Amber. You can say hi, arf arf. Yeah, I like to. She kind of steals the show. Oh, come on, get over there. And I can't cue the. Anyway, so anyway, say hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi. Want to look at the camera? Woof, woof. Yeah. That's it, y'all. Hey, Amber. Oh, nobody can see you. All right, let's sit down. Whoop. My chair's going away. Ugh. Yeah, this is Amber for anybody that hasn't met Amber. She's long-haired dachshund. Long-haired dachshund mix. Hey, world, what you doing? Yeah. There you go. Okay, Amber, I'm going to let you go. Go see Mommy. Go in the bedroom. Take guard Mommy. Okay. Takes care of Amber. Yeah, I decided to like to give Amber her day in the sun. And I got rid of my official CIA hat for tonight. I'm not going to do any secret work for this. Well, what's funny, Martha, is the queue was started by the son of a pig farmer. And he's giving it up. But, people like Randy and Tim and a whole bunch of other people are clinging on to him for dear life. And so I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, Amber's got the cute face. I'm just a angry old fart with a YouTube channel. So, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I went out and bought a clown wig and put on pink underwear, if I'd have more people. I mean, everybody loved Phil McConnell for doing that. So, well, what are you going to do? And YouTube has made it kind of hard to do anything on these channels. You can't use copyrighted music. So I used to when I had my Pal Talk channel, I used to be able to play music and stuff. No, the person that started QAnon was operating 8chan, and his name is Jim Watkins. And his father was a pig farmer. I think it was over in the Philippines. I'm not sure, but they did that HBO documentary, and they actually showed pictures of Jim Watkins running around on the pig farm. And he primarily was at Japan, and the Chans, 4chan, 9/11, all these Chan channels were originally anime channels, and then Anonymous came out of 4chan, and then there was some kind of a dust up between the Watkins family and this one guy that's a midget that was in a wheelchair, and he apparently was the genius behind 8chan. He objected to him using the name 8chan, so they quit using 8chan and changed it to 8chun, which is, and then when all this QAnon stuff happened, there was all kinds of problems. I don't know. But after the HBO documentary, Q disappeared. And now all of a sudden there's people coming back, and I think they're pretending to be Q. But Watkins is, he's not doing anything. And people keep asking him, are you still have Q? And he's kind of hedging about it. But at the very end of the HBO documentary, I'm not sure about that, Martha. I thought Watkins was a thin guy with a beard and mustache that runs around, and that you might be right. I don't know a lot about them. I'm going to have to check into that. But I do know that the son of the pig farmer is the one that is alleged to have started QAnon. And it was funny because if you watch the very last episode of that documentary, he asked him the question, and the guy kind of gave him a sly look, and you kind of knew that he wanted to come out and say, yeah, it's me, but he hesitated. So but if you can ever do it, watch the documentary. I'm pretty sure that HBO will put it out on DVD one of these days if you don't have a subscription to the channel. And it's well worth the watch. It's fascinating. Yeah, I think you're right. That Renan gave it to the Watkins, but it was the Watkins who created QAnon. And that's... yeah, the old sly look. And, it just... people want QAnon to hang around. And it's just... there's copycats now because they're desperate. They've got to have... it's kind of like a God complex, and QAnon is their God. But it's absolutely nuts. People that believe in QAnon are crazy. Okay. Over on the high command, they just put up Prester Craig Locke, dead kids under White House, Hillary's bodyguard, Oprah Winfrey, CIA finder. So he's jumped on it. This is exactly what they do. They jump on the wagon of this Pastor Greg. So here we go with a new set of conspiracy theories. They're just going to keep this up. Next thing you know, he'll be saying he sent stuff to Pastor Locke and that he was the source of the information. So, it's... Hi, Kim. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, it seems to be every day they got to put something up there. You know what's funny is it's got tomorrow's date on it, and it's not the 28th yet the thing says June 28th. That's kind of funny. But it kind of makes me wonder where they're logging in at to get the wrong time zone. But, you know. But anyway, that's what's going on is they're going to be probably using this pass or lock thing. And yeah, this is what's funny is that Tim railed against this kind of preacher. Let's see, he's got Pastor Locke, Craig Sawyer, Oprah Winfrey. I don't know why they got to burr up their ass about Oprah Winfrey. I don't know who that is. Cobra again. Who the hell is that? Oh, and then going after Kim Picasio again. Oh, same shit over and over and over again. And now he's got Leanne up there, the fake death threats. I don't know what that's all about. Then he goes into Cappy, exploiting Chris Hallett, of course. Yeah. Yeah, same old, same old. Eastern plus 5 hours. Yeah, because they're the date's coming up on the 28th, so it's over the international date line. Yeah, I never trying to figure out. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 22 minutes ago. Pastor Greg Locke. Yeah, that's same old BS. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with Universal Time and they GMT Universal Time. So, it's and I think Twitter does. It's either Twitter or YouTube does the same thing because my dates are always screwed up. Huh. Of course he is. They can't. They'll make another video. They always do. They'll go through there and they'll make up another lie, and you know, same thing all the time. It's just they can't get over me. Yeah, that's correct. Everybody uses, majority of things are used by banking, business, governments, and so forth with UTC. It helps coordinate things. Richard, NASA does use Houston time because they just it's a combination of things. They'll use Houston time generally for individual missions. I think the ISS uses UTC because it's an international operation where the NASA is domestic. So yeah, the internet uses the uniformity for because it just saves a lot of confusion. Because if you were using all these different time zones on the internet for various things, it would create a horrific mess. So it was decided even way back with our ARPANET to use UTC in any time sensitive material that goes in there. Yes, he is. Does it every day. Even tonight, he did it. Kim P is public enemy number one with these two. Yeah, they GPS is UTC, right? And the only thing that isn't is if you set your smartphones to your own time zone, and that you know. Oh, these death time things are. That's kind of a fascinating thing. The death lottery. People trying to predict when somebody's going to die. I haven't heard much about that. People betting on death times lately. That's kind of a strange. Yeah. Yeah, Trump is in Ohio. He's been running all over doing these rallies again. But yeah, he was up in Ohio, and she put up the video of him on the at the rally on her Facebook page. And that's the last thing. Actually, I think that's the last thing posted on there is the rally. I'm surprised she hasn't done a video about the. I'm surprised she hasn't done a video about the package she got. So I guess I'm wondering why, but that'll come out eventually. No, that's not what I want. Here's what I want. Well, she finally put up this. She put that up on her page. Who's flying the plane? If you would like to contribute. Okay, so she finally put something up on. That's a question. I don't know. But 27 minutes ago, she linked the pastor lock thing. She uses the PPTF icon on her Facebook page. And then she's got this United Spot thing. I have no idea what that is. Just another one of these. But it was over on the high command or on the task force thing too. So. God, I haven't heard anything about Justin Bieber in a long time. That's a first. Boy, she's really pushing this. Yesterday, Trump was in Wellington, Ohio. And Well, there's pervs everywhere. They go after Disney. The funniest thing that they claimed was that a submarine and a bunch of tunnels were blown up under Disney World. Now, I live a half hour from Disney World, so if anybody blew up anything at Disney World, I'd know about it. It's, these people are crazy. Yeah, he's jealous of everybody. Yeah, but the thing of it is, when I start talking about politics in here, I get in trouble because for a long time, the majority of people in here were Trump supporters, or were from the Republican Party, or hated Hillary, and so I got my head bashed in for that. But I try to keep politics to a minimum in here. It can't help but seep in, but it's there. Not by the um, not by the mainstream media. There's an outlet, Right Side Broadcasting, uh, broadcasts all the rallies. There's two or three of the right wing uh, stations, but the RSBN is known as the one to um, live stream virtually everything Trump does. Um, so if you're ever interested in them, that's what you do. You find RSBN and knock yourself out. And then of course, the mainstream is all over them. So that, but while I'm at it, I'm gonna. See what's in the news. Trying to see if there's anything on the building in Florida. What I'll have to do, yeah, RSBN is the name of the channel. Go up here on. Okay, I guess we go over to. What I'm doing is I'm going down through. I want to see. Let's see. Go through the categories: music, rats, SpaceX, video editing software. Okay, we go live. So I want to see if they. I'll do it this way. You'll see. Okay, so we got. Now, the latest that I have on the sunrise collapse is that it went up to, I think, like 5 people are now dead in that. So, yeah, I think Trump, for whatever reason, is addicted to rallies. He gets, he likes the cheers and so forth and the attention he gets from it. So, okay, somebody's blaming the collapse on the bombing of the Gaza Strip. But it's not good to break parole. Yeah, well, Disneyland is in California. I guess I got tunnels out there too. Gee whiz. Yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run this up until the top of the hour and then call it a night. So we got about 20 minutes left. Oh, I know what I can do. I can check like I always do. Oh, this is Sunday. I think I already did that. So there's no. So things are slowing down a little bit. See if anything's going on over here. Yeah, good night, Martha. Thanks for stopping in. Kim, no, I wasn't much into athletics. I walked and stuff, and that was about it. But I never played any kind of sports. I can't ski because I got weak ankles. I did ice skate, did roller skate, just stuff like that, but not much of a sportsman. Now, my brother, he played baseball in high school, and he played golf. I don't know if he does anymore. He uh, he does kayaking and stuff like that. So, I guess he would be the athlete in the family. My brother Michael, he did ski until he had a skiing accident, and he's got the same problem I do with the weak ankles and so on. But I do like to swim. I haven't been in a swimming pool in ages, but I do like to swim. We got one here at the clubhouse, and I guess with 100-degree weather, I ought to go down and do a few laps in the pool. But as far as what I did to get exercise, I was in the moving business for quite a while. So it's kind of like doing weights. I was in the moving business for 4 years. They called us bed bug haulers in those days. So that was, done a little bit of everything in the trucking business, but I don't know. They say the internet makes you, TV makes you fat. I don't know. I may be bigger than I look. So hard, that's a hard one. But nope, not an athlete. Just one of those geeks they used to talk about in school. I was playing around with computers back in high school and CB radio and all that good stuff. I was running a CB radio before I got into truck driving. Did something that we call sideband, single sideband. It's where you split the channel in two, and until you tune the thing in, you sound like Mickey Mouse. It's kind of fun to listen to sideband. Did that for years. I've got radio equipment here at the house, but I haven't set it up. I ought to set up my CB one of these nights. Slapping a tent up on the roof or something. That's, stuff like that I was going to do on my M4 channel, but that thing is kind of sitting right now. Because I really don't want to go through the ordeal of building up another channel. Eventually I'm going to do it. I wanted to split it to where my technology stuff was on M4 KFL, and then this was going to be just for general chat. So oh my God. You got to see me in person. I look like I drink a keg of beer every night in the cut here. That's because of my milk. And of course, I'm drinking this crap right now. It's basically lemonade. They sell it at Walmart for $1 a bottle. And it's so sour you can't guzzle it. Yep, that's typical lemonade where it makes you pucker. But I don't know. I'm really surprised that someone would say I got an athletic build. That's a trip. Loading on. But thanks for the compliment anyway. I had somebody tell me I looked like a cop one time. That was funny. I don't know. Maybe that's not bad. Well, things seem to be slowing down a little bit. I kind of ran through everything that I want to talk about. It's just that they got caught. They got big time in their little lie. I don't know why they keep doing this nonsense, because they keep getting caught every time you turn around. they get caught in a lie. And what's odd is now, like, Timmy and Randy will repeat the same lie later on, even after being exposed. It's like they just forget about it for a while, lie about something else, and then they come back and lie about the same old lies again. And this latest video, that's exactly what they're doing. It's really strange. And what's funny is the comments they get on these channels, or on these videos, I should say. See if they get any comments here. More incoherence from this channel. Honestly, why do I even bother giving it another chance? It's just pure crap. Yeah, about half these comments, it goes all over the place. But their biggest complaints on these videos is that he plays the same material over and over again. This latest video is actually a departure because he's a lot. Oh yeah, there's the UTC. But like, there's, see how long this is because the way it's playing. But this is a long video. This is actually 45 minutes long. But it's all this guy jumping around and doing this weird thing there. This latest idol of Tim Homeseth. Well, it's hard to say what's going to happen. It depends on how much the cops care about the fact that they were lied to. Now, Randy did, so she claims. Oh, lost my lighting. I wonder what happened. I think I kicked the plug. Randy did claim that she filed a police report because of the search for Timmy that happened a while back. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to work. So yeah, keep me informed about the call you make because I'll be curious to see how that goes. I'll be mobile again for most of the day tomorrow. Off the internet adventure starts in the morning, very first thing in the morning. And so the only thing I'll be able to do is be in a thing. Let's see what I kick down here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. No, I'm going to have to, I'll deal with that off the air. Because what it is I got a distribution panel underneath my desk. And, well, Fireman John, you're a little late. We were talking about you. Let me, I got to do something here real quick. I'll be right back on. All right, I'm back. I got it one of these power strips, and it's got a. Hold on a minute. Yep, there we go. The power strip is under my desk, and if I'm not careful, I kick the thing, and it took out my backlight. So I went ahead and replugged everything back in, and I got all my backlights back. But hello, Fireman John. Welcome. I did a whole thing on you tonight, and you missed it all. Because you got uh, discussed about over on Timmy's little uh, channel and blog today. Uh, they're kind of pissed at you over that telephone call you made to the cops. So that's kind of fun. And let me do this. I'm going to put this on just for the heck of it. I meant to put this on earlier. I got. Okay, that's up. But yeah, they went after you again because you were my wrench. Um, but then they put up a 45-minute video of this preacher bouncing around. That's kind of strange. I don't know why the color is off. I'm gonna have to work on that. I'm getting a green shadow from somewhere when I lean back. So that means that the lights are in the wrong direction. Yeah, it was kind of fun, but they just they made fools of themselves um, because the older video, they say, why the heck did you call the Delphi Police Department? And well, it's because of the videos that you people made a week ago. I mean, give me a break. Yeah, as long as I stay in one position, because if I go back, right about beneath my eyes, I'm getting a bit of a shadow. I've got to correct the lighting a little bit. I know what the problem is. Because if I get distant from the camera, then I turn green. So if I stay close like this, it's pretty decent. But anyway. So other than that, there really isn't a whole heck of a lot going on. I'm probably in about 7-8 minutes. I'm going to call it a night. I usually don't do two of these in a row, but when I saw the article that was done, and let me show you what I'm talking about here, because this is what came up today. Uh, but anyway, I wonder what style hat they choose. I found this on the internet, and I figured this would be a good thing to put in here because it kind of defines the moment. There, that do that, and it makes it look better. No, apparently he doesn't. Oh, they put they he went on the thing about um the shows that you had mentioned that he is being investigated for possible obstruction of justice, and you know he doesn't seem to understand that. I'm not sure what to think of the McAfee situation. Because they have reported that he committed suicide, but either his girlfriend or wife or whatever she is said he's not suicidal. So, I don't know how closely they're going to investigate that to see just exactly what the situation is. So I haven't really I haven't formed an opinion on it because I haven't looked at it that closely. I use his antivirus software. I've got the 350 or no, I switched over to Norton. Never mind. But yeah, that's the spec. Yeah, excuse me. The speculation is there, and I think even the tin hats got in the middle of it because somebody claimed that a relative of his had a condo in the building in Sunrise, Florida that collapsed. So that's hard to say. But did he or didn't he? Yeah, it's we're back to the Epstein thing again. Did Epstein commit suicide? Did he get killed? Or it's the whole thing is hokey, but I really don't want to get into too much of the tinfoil situation with that. Um, Someday if something did happen to where he did not commit suicide, either Epstein or McCarthy, it'll come out. Um, the point of the situation is they're both deader than a doornail. Um, except for some Qs think that Epstein's alive. And so you never know. Yeah, I would not be surprised, or I had something that I was a member of the group that killed him, or some nonsense. I mean, that's common. I mean, he accuses me of everything. I'm the reincarnation of Jack the Ripper, I guess, because all these things that I get accused of. It's amazing. Um, he's got, let's see, he's got me connected to the death of Kaylee Anthony. He's got me connected to whatever happened to Haley Cummins. He's got me connected to this Delphi thing. And, he's got me being part of the finders. He's got me being a spokesman for uh, Kim Picasio, and I have yet to meet Kim Picasio. We talk and we message each other every once in a while about, you know, ordinary stuff. So, you know, but yeah, when you think that you've hit crazy, something comes along that's even crazier. And it's always crazy with these tin hats. Uh, let's see, that's not the button I want. Yeah, let me refresh. It's showing 999. Yep, back to 1,000 again. Well, that's fine. I wish it would stay above 1,000 long enough for YouTube to do their thing. That is the funniest thing I ever watched, John. He actually had his camera going when he got pulled over because he's too lazy to fasten his seatbelt. And he made a big show about it. He says, I don't want to get killed. I don't this, I don't that. So I'm, yeah, I mean, I took the Millennium Falcon to Spain, you know, because, you know, they've got a secret supersonic jet like the, whatchamacallit, sitting in a secret airport, and, you know, we can fly to Spain in 2 hours, kill the guy, and come back. I mean, geez. Oh, we finally got that mystery solved because I was wondering who the hell that was. I mean, the girl's only got 7 subscribers, and God, talk about nuts. Um, Gee, Louise. Um, I mean, that girl was on another planet. Um, and, you know, what I don't understand is why they weren't able to get a hold of each other. I mean, you know, all she's got to do is go over to BitChute. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Okay, I'd just be curious because I want to figure out what her story is because she just went off like no tomorrow on that, and I had a problem listening to it because I was getting an echo in my computer because I've got to turn the mic off or it feeds back through and I get an echo. And by the time I turned it off, half the video was over, and I don't think I bookmarked it, so hard to say. But yeah, as far as McAfee, I'd be curious to know exactly what happened to that. Yeah, I figured she was another one of those uh, tunnel rats. You know, they just gotta they come up with these fishtails, and he even actually did come up with a fishtail. Uh, yeah, it's kind of it came in at the last minute, John, because I was just getting ready to log off. I decided to run a little bit over since you're here. But you know, the show gets to a point where you know it's hard to keep continuity, and you know we wind up with a bunch of dead air when it goes up in over on the recorded side. I don't know what she thinks Home Seth can do, but I guess that'll be curious to see if those two ever join forces. Might make Randy jealous, but you know, I mean, for a while there, Tim and Trace had a thing going, and I don't know how far that one went because it was kind of short lived. Oh, geez, here we go. Now, yeah, the tin hats would fit good on whoever sent that one because um, apparently The explanation right now is it's a 40-year-old building. They had a $9 million contract to bring it up to code because Florida has a law when a building reaches a certain age, it's got to be inspected and then it's got to be recertified. And they found cracks and stuff in the building. They think it had been settling. Um, um, well, who we were talking about was Mr. McAfee, the guy that committed suicide over in Spain. And then there's also this chick that Levi uh, had, and I played the video in the room last night. Uh, and then I jumped back to the building because they're already starting the conspiracy theories on the building and McAfee having an apartment in it and all that horse hockey. I don't know what he has evidence of. It's probably tunnel rats and all that. Next thing they're going to say is a tunnel that had kids in it collapsed under the building. I'm waiting for that one to come out. But what they found is they've had a couple of engineers on, and they have been complaining about that building for years. And what it is that particular kind of building, they put the parking garages for the tenants underneath the building. It's built up on piers. And there's a possibility that the piers gave way, and that's what caused the building to collapse. Because there's a video that's on YouTube that was made by a surveillance camera. And what it shows is one portion of the building collapsed. It's kind of like in the middle of the building. And then right after that went down, the other part of it went down. And, and that's it. It's what they call a pancake effect, like what happened to the World Trade Center. And so that's usually a sign of settling. So if any number of those pillars gave way, that's what caused the building to come out because it went straight down. It didn't go outward, which is, that created all kinds of problems because of that. Because, you look at it on TV and you just see all these things. And it's just, it's a tragedy. The death count keeps going up on that. I don't know if they're going to find any more survivors. And they've had goofy things like they had one tenant's phone was calling, I think it was their grandkids or their children, like 18 times. And there'd be nothing but static on the phone. It just kept dialing. And the only thing I can figure is maybe the redial button is stuck on the phone. It's, you get these phones like the one that I have, and you either got a redial on it, and if that gets stuck, it'll ring, and then if nobody answers, it goes off, and then it rings again. Or if somebody answers the phone as they're static and hangs up, it redials. And that's the only thing I can come up with, so, Okay, what is Jayco? I think she is Jelly of what? Jayco is saying a direct energy weapon. Well, now we're getting into science fiction. Okay, I'm learning something new every day. We got another one. Yeah, play whack-a-mole with all these weirdos. Oh, jeez. Well, that'll make for some interesting talking for a while. Well, they ought to try on one of these hats. Figure out which one's perfect for them. Wacko Jacob. Yeah, you got that right, John. Yeah, it's amazing how gullible people are in the world. They keep coming up with this crap. It's I gotta love it. Okay, I think what I'll do is LARPing after death. Why not? Yeah, anything's possible anymore. Maybe he'll come back as a lizard person. Be another JFK Jr. Maybe JFK Jr. had a twin, and his name was McAfee. That has to be one of the silliest. When they came out with that one, that has to be one of the silliest things I heard of. Is this JFK Jr. business? Yeah, and to see flags with JFK Jr. on them, I mean, give me a break. Oop. I forgot about that account. So, oh god, good old Wano Sap. Yeah, that guy's laughing all the way to the bank. I mean, yeah, that just amazes me that Juan is getting away with that. The guy's not even Caucasian; he's Spanish. You know, JFK Jr. was a hot-blooded Irishman, and he gets reincarnated as 107. I really feel sorry if that's true. That's not a good legacy for JFK. Robert the Deplorable. David Nino. God, I'm learning all kinds of new names here. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, folks. I'm going to end the show at this point. I really hadn't planned on doing this 2 days in a row, but I had a whole bunch of things break at once. Between John getting raked over the coals again, this mystery package coming to Randy, who's not even supposed to be in Wisconsin. So I do appreciate everybody stopping in. Please like, subscribe, share the channel. I'll probably start doing regular live streams on either Friday or Saturday, most likely Saturday. And the only time I do more than one time a week is if something came up. Now, if you guys have a preference of either Saturday or Sunday as to when you'd like to see me do it regularly, let me know. And I will um, do that. I'll make a regular night. I just haven't decided which one it's going to be. It's difficult during the week because of the way my flights have been going, so it would have to be during during the weekend, for at least for now, unless something changes. Um, and it'd either be 9 or 10 o'clock at night that I'd start. I don't think I'd go any earlier than that. Um, but Kim, I don't have enough material to do it every day. Uh, and even 2 days a week, unless we're in the middle of summarizing trials and stuff like that, then I could lengthen it out. My original mission was to do trial coverage, and I got away from that after I started having to deal with these stalkers and grifters and whatever the heck they all are. And it's just one of these things I got to get back on track one of these days. And I also have the Mesa project is kind of on hold because the materials I need for that project is way expensive. All the building materials have gone up into orbit. So until prices come down, I'm going to put that one on hold. But it's either the regular nights are probably going to be either Saturday or Sunday. And then, of course, if something special happens, I just come in at any time. So I'll probably do 1 or 2 or 3 mobile times during the week and, go with that. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you, everybody, for coming in tonight. Everybody have a good week, and hopefully, we'll have more to talk about as time goes in. So this is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1. Have a good one.